and I wanted to just check in first of all, Boguslava, how are you feeling about your son today?
Today is much better. Like yesterday was very fresh, and I was like a little panicking maybe, but yeah, I was very worried about my son because whatever he does is really danger, and the danger was in my mind.
That's right.
So that's why I was crying all morning yesterday.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm much better now, yeah.
Oh, good. And so you've been able to replace that worry and the danger with love and appreciation?
Honestly, I forgot after. I was so busy with my papers and I watched some videos and this, and it was nighttime going to sleep. I said, oh, I forgot even about it.
Okay.
This morning I practiced. Even I woke up this morning, I couldn't sleep, and I practiced that exercise. So I slept like 10 hours together, a lot, too much.
Well, sometimes we go through periods of change when we're changing things in our brain and physically, I mean, in the body as well. We very often need more sleep for that new information to be processed and assimilated. So that's not a bad thing.
Good.
Very good. And how's everyone else doing today?
I'm so very tired.
You're tired, Carrie? Yeah. And so the insomnia thing, so tell me what happened last night when you went to sleep, or when you went to bed.
Well, I was able to pre-pave.
Sorry?
And I practiced. I said I was able to pre-pave.
Oh, pre-pave. Oh, good.
And I practiced it all day.
Okay.
And I was able to get into that feeling.
Good.
But for some reason, like when I laid down, I just kept feeling uncomfortable.
Okay. And is it physical uncomfortable or emotional?
Physical.
Physical uncomfortableness. Okay. So is it just that you couldn't get into a comfortable position, or was there something specific going on symptom-wise?
I think that perhaps the problem was that my legs kept moving around.
Right. Okay. And so what did you do then when that happened? So you were lying in bed and you were trying to go to sleep, and your
I was just trying to still breathe in through my nose and breathe out through my nose.
Okay, good.
But I realized that several minutes or perhaps a couple of hours had passed.
Yeah.
And I was still trying to breathe like that.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to give you another possibility, another possible tool is if you get an audiobook, you get them from Audible, or there are some on YouTube as well, an audiobook that interests you, of course, nothing stimulating, so nothing that is going to keep you keep your mind active, but something relaxing and interesting and that kind of thing. And the other option is if you search on YouTube, mute whoever that is. If you search on YouTube for binaural beats, in fact, we can send you a link. If we can send a link to Carrie for binaural beats, and as you listen to that, because there's nothing we can do. I mean, I don't know about medically, I don't know if you have medication or anything like that, but
I don't.
Okay, so there's nothing we can do to make your legs stop doing that. But what we can do is bring the stress chemicals down so that you're able to relax a little bit.
Yes, we have.
So of the, Steve, I think if we can mute everyone now, and then it'll be easier to hear.
Will you tell me about it later?
There we go. Okay. And I'll unmute Carrie so that we're, oh, I can't apparently. There we go. All right. And so the combination then of, you know, the color as much as you can, bringing back to the color, and then the breathing in that, and the background of gentle music, binaural beats, or an audio book that's interesting but not stimulating. Does that make sense? Because then that will help to bring your focus off the, you know, off your legs or whatever's going on discomfort wise in your body.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good job. All right. Can you all hear the sirens going off? There's the the tornado. We haven't got a tornado, but it's the they're testing the sirens. As an English person, I still find that amazing. We're not used to that. All right. So how's everyone else doing? Oh, here we say, somebody says, good morning. How could we use the ESC for relationships? For example, one of the couple follows quarantine, the other doesn't. Oh, that's a very good question. And there are a surprising number of people who are experiencing conflict over this, where you know, one person is taking the conditions of the situation with the quarantine, the coronavirus, and that seriously and doing what needs to be done, and the other one is not. And that can cause a lot of clashes. So the way to use it is, first of all, as always, you always start with yourself. So you get yourself into that state first, fill the cells of your body, do the exercise with your subject, you know, rejecting you, and maintain that that state. And then what you're aiming for is to be able to fill your partner with that same feeling, regardless of whether they follow the quarantine conditions or not. And that sounds like a tall order to begin with. It sounds like a difficult thing to do, but two things. Number one, remember that this is a physiological state and an energetic state and an electromagnetic state. So this is nothing to do with actually with emotion or agreeing or disagreeing or anything like that. You're purely using a power here. And secondly, the more you practice, of course, the easier that gets. And thirdly, remember that to think of your target as darkness, so and your power as light. So the person who's not following the quarantine conditions, them not following the quarantine conditions is like darkness. Now you're going to shine this light from your heart into that darkness. Okay, and as you do that, either the darkness changes, the target changes, or you at the very least you don't feel the stress anymore, because we can't make someone else do something that they don't want to do, but we can change our own experience of what they're doing. And sometimes doing that does result in the other person changing after all. But of course, the point of unconditional is that you're not expecting it to change. So it's practice, practice, practice. And the end result you're aiming for is to love what you don't want, regardless of whether it changes or it doesn't change, because that is about changing your own state and your own experience of it. So I hope that helps. If you need more, or you need clarification or more suggestions or whatever, just let us know. Just clarify that in the chat. All right. So what we're going to do today is similar to what we did yesterday. First of all, we're going to just, I'll just recap what we're aiming at and where we are in this journey. And secondly, we'll address any specific issues that you have, like the insomnia and the relationships thing. And then what we're going to do is, of course, practice. And we want to, what I'd like to do today is practice with each other. In other words, we're going to do what we did towards the end of yesterday, which is send love to everybody. And then we're also going to pick one person here to start with, to practice on, and then allow it to spread out to everyone. And then we're going to pick a little bit more of a difficult, we're going to level up a little bit on the challenges, on the targets. Does that sound good to everyone? Very good. And as always, if there's anything specific you want to ask or do or clarify, just let us know. So we want to make sure that we're giving you what you need rather than what we want to share, just what we want to share. All right. So first of all, where we are in the journey. So as we said yesterday, last week, we learned the actual exercises and how to do them. What we're aiming for is to be able to live from the state of unconditional love, which is the most empowered state you can be in. It's your authentic self. It's who we really are. And it is like, it is a superpower effectively. So it is like living, for any people who play games, it's like living in God mode in games, which means you can do pretty much anything. So, and it's important to remember it's just a skill. So it's not that some people can do it, some people can't, sometimes it doesn't work. None of that. It's as much of a skill as riding a bike, playing an instrument, learning a language. As you're doing it, you're developing new neural networks that will become established and allow you to do it more easily and more effectively. All right. And so each day we want to add little bit, level up so that we get you to that point where you're just living from that state. Does that sound good? All right, very good. So let's do questions now and specific issues. So any questions and any particular issues that you'd like to address? Oh, and I know if anyone would like the group to aim at their particular issue, let us know. All right. So let us know if you have an issue that you would like help with, you'd like everybody to aim at, because that's very effective, not just for the target, not just for the person who wants that help, but for everyone who's doing it as well. So Carrie, did you raise your hand there for that? Fantastic. Okay, so we'll do, Steve, would you be able to make a note of the people so that because I might not, I'll try and remember, but once we've done all the questions and the practice and that, we're going to all aim at Carrie and I think in particular the insomnia probably, and anyone else who would like to be helped in this way by the whole group. And if I'm not if you're waving your hand, I'm not seeing you, or if you're not on camera, just share it in the chat. All right. So, and Kara, you'd like to be a target as well? Very good. Okay. And Kara, do you have a specific topic that you'd like to address, or shall we just aim at you in general?
Concerns about finances.
Finances. Very good. Okay. All right. Lovely. Steve, if you could make a note. Thank you so much. And anybody else? Someone here says, I would love to be helped with relationship. Very good. And I think also when you put it in the chat, if you can also share whether it's okay to use your name or if we should just say, you know, subject A or whatever. So if we can use your name, then everyone, of course, will know, will have a picture of who you are, or at least your name. If you don't want your name used, that's okay. Just let me know in the chat, and then we'll just say there is someone who needs help with blah. Someone else says, I just came out with a motivational children's book. How wonderful. And I feel guilty about charging money right now since this all happened. I've been giving copies away. Okay, very good. I know that feeling so well. I've definitely been there myself. So while we're waiting for other suggestions, I'm going to answer that one actually, because so we can target at that, but something to bear in mind, a couple of things. So first of all, is that what we can't give what we don't have. So we always need to start with ourselves. So if you think about this children's book having been written by the little you, so if a child wrote a book, would you want them to just give it away, or would you want them to get paid for it, to be rewarded for it in some way? So that's one way to look at it. And the second way, and this is kind of leaks into our other work, but I'm going to, because it's so important, I will share it here as well, is the way I solve my issue with that. One of the ways is what's wrong with asking to be paid. So I know you say charging money right now since all this has happened, but what meaning is there? So what does it mean that this has happened? Why? How does that connect? So, and of course, we've all got the obvious ones in our heads. So, it may be, well, because people are out of work and they won't have the money, or that it's not a priority. And then you drill down to find out what that's about. So because somebody said something to me a long time ago, and it was, if you charge properly for your services, then you can afford to do pro bono and give away to those who really need it. So with your book, if you charge properly for your book, then you'll be able to afford, because we all need to earn an income. Then you'll be able to afford to do that, giving away the complimentary copies to the people who really need it, who really don't have the money and who would benefit from it and that. But then you've got people, who can pay, are paying. Does that help a little bit? Good, okay. And of course, in addition to that, use this exercise. You fill yourself with the love first, and then fill the book with love, and all those people who may or may not buy it, whether they buy it or not, whether they pay or not, and all of that. And then with the, as I was saying, with the other work, so what's the, you can drill down what's wrong with charging for it. How does that feel? And then where in your childhood did you feel that feeling? It may have nothing to do with books or creating or writing or money or anything like that. There may be something else, but it will be the same feeling. So to give you a little example, I had a few different references. One of mine was, if you ask, you don't get. We were taught as children, if you ask, you don't get. And it was a politeness thing. You wait to be offered, which meant I never wanted to ask to be paid, or, but I didn't know that consciously. Just automatically, if I had to ask for money, I would feel like I can't charge them for that. They won't pay it. It's too much, all of that, because my subconscious was referring to the so-called fact that if I ask, I won't get. So it was triggering the fight, freeze, flight response, or the freeze response rather, so that I wouldn't ask. So there could be all those kinds of possibilities. Another possibility is not feeling worthy, and if that's the case, then where in your childhood did you learn that you're not worthy? Where in your childhood did you feel that same feeling of not being worthy, or being, somebody said to me the other day, I want to see how little I can live on, to see how little can a life cost, which is, I mean, it sounds like an admirable thing, but it really is a huge, neon sign of extremely low self-worth, because we all deserve, every single person in the world deserves to have everything they need and want and love. And there is enough for everyone. It's just about priorities. Okay, and self-love. And I overheard Cheryl saying earlier about how everything starts with self-love, or everything comes back to self-love. And that is so spot on. That is so spot on, because we are all, everything is connected, everyone is connected. By loving yourself, you are loving everything else and everyone else. All right, and of course, what you can't give what you don't have. So if you don't love yourself, you can't authentically and unconditionally love anything or anyone else. All right, so what else have we got? Oh yes, so excellent advice, thank you. You're very, very welcome, sweetheart. All right, so any other questions? Yes, Katrina. Yes, Katrina, I thought I got your name wrong.
Yes, yes. I want to, I'm having a problem with the love in that if I don't see myself, I can love myself, but when I see myself,
Right.
there's still this thing going on, you know. So
I get that. Very good. Okay, so when you see yourself, what thoughts and feelings come up? What's the thing there that you're noticing?
I'm drawing a blank because normally if I'm questioned, goes
Yes.
back to school, I can think.
School?
You know, I shut down. So
That's it then. Yeah. So there's something there in school that's providing that reference and providing that that reference and that evidence that's proving whatever beliefs are there. So what you want to do is, in the first instance, you get into that state, and we'll do the exercise today to get into that state. So when those of you who are changing references, memories and that, get into this feel-good state first, and you'll find it much, much easier to change the memories. So you get into the state first, and then Katrina, if you think of the little you in school and see what you can do to transfer this love to her.
Okay.
And say to her what she needed to hear, so that she is perfect exactly as she is. She has a right to be heard. And, you know, give that little you everything that you should have been given as a child. Okay. Now, when you find it difficult, so I'm going to do, I know, you know, these sessions aren't really about changing memories and that's what the other stuff is for, but I'm just going to give you a little bit of guidance so that you're able to do something with it. Is when you do that, if you've got something that stands out, like a particular negative emotion, or a person that's saying something, or something negative, stop immediately, press pause on it, and come back to the love, the color, this exercise, and make it really strong. And then just dip your toe again in that memory, notice what's there, and immediately come out. Don't spend time in that negative memory, because every time you go to the negative memory, you're pumping stress chemicals into your system again. So you're just looking. I know Steve has said, it's like, think of it like a hot bath. You don't want to get in, you just want to dip your toe in, see how hot it is. If it's still hot, come back out. Cold water, go back in, dip your toe in. Is it any less hot? Keep doing that until you're able to go to that little you in school, and you're able to change whatever happened. And by changing it, all you need to do is imagine it differently. So what would it have been like if you were treated with love and kindness and compassion, and encouraged and praised? Then that little Katrina would have been able to speak out. She would have felt confident and loved and secure and safe. And that's what you want to get to. So that you by doing that, you're giving your subconscious new references for who you are and how the world works. And then I would say the next step, and I know this is a lot of steps, but when you watch this recording, watch the recording back, you can make a note of them, write them down if you'd like to. And then you come back to the love exercise, and then imagine sending that love to that little you. And so before you look in the mirror again, or before you look at yourself again, do this first, and then send love to you looking in the mirror and not approving, and love that version of you. Love it all anyway. Okay. And then you can slowly inch forward with looking in the mirror, getting into a state of feeling love first, then looking in. But the keys to that, the keys to changing that are in your childhood, are changing your childhood because you learned somewhere in your childhood how to respond to looking at yourself now.
Okay. It's because I'm seeing myself here. Do you know?
Oh, yes.
As I'm talking, and it's like, oh, go away.
Yes. Okay. So that is definitely reference. And I know it well because I've had that myself in the past. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. And very often it's when you see photographs of yourself or videos and that, absolutely. So the first thing is, I can assure you that from out here, and I'm sure everyone else will agree, you look gorgeous, you look beautiful. So it is definitely just your own perception. It's nothing to do with what we're seeing. Okay. So, but what's happening is, as you're looking at yourself, your subconscious is referring to whatever's back there in your childhood that proves who you are and how the world works and how you should think of yourself, or the expectations, whatever's there. And then it's prompting the stress chemicals to come up that are causing those feelings. All right. So do you have any pets, Katrina?
No.
No. Have you ever had any pets or not?
Oh, well, when I was a little girl, I had, that's who I used, but
Yeah.
a pony, Charmaine, yeah.
A pony.
I used to have a pony, yeah, yeah.
Oh, how fantastic! Ah, lovely. And the pony's name was Charmaine. That's such a
Yeah.
fun name for a pony. Okay, and what color was Charmaine?
Palomino, you know, the cream.
Palomino. Oh, beautiful. And did she ever do any? I'm assuming it's a she called Charmaine, or is it a he called Charmaine?
Yeah.
Right. And did Charmaine ever do anything funny?
Do anything funny?
Yeah.
No, but she was always, I mean, I loved her. She
Yes.
taught me to love, you know.
Very good, very good. And so what's your favorite memory of Charmaine?
I suppose when I was in pony camp, we went to pony camp to learn how to, you know, get better.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, and everybody loved my pony, and I felt so proud being
Nice.
on. But then my pony was sold, you know, it was like.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So one of the things you can do as well is imagine if your pony was never sold.
Yeah.
How wonderful that would have been. Yeah. All right. And so what we want to do is, because anything that happened in our childhood, and you know, a lot of us have a lot of stuff back there that did happen. The key is it's no longer happening now. We're not there now, we're here. So you know, when you wake up from a nightmare sometimes, or a bad dream, and you've still got those emotions, you still got that fear, but it's not actually happening. And you have to go, okay, I'm here. I'm not, you know, that was just a dream. It was just a dream. And that is one of the ways in which to treat the stuff that happened in childhood, because it's not happening now. So it originally happened, it's not happening now. But the brain and body don't know that. So they're producing these chemicals that cause the same emotions. So that's why you want to change it. So you keep going back and forth, and then change those memories so that your subconscious, because your subconscious will believe whatever you give it. It can't tell the difference between reality and imagination. All right. Okay. Does that help, Katrina?
Yeah. Brilliant. Thank you. Yeah.
Good job. You're very welcome, sweetheart. All right. Okay, and then others here. No, we don't have any others in the chat. So anyone else have any questions or need clarification on anything? Or all right, Boguslava.
I have a question. Probably you were saying about that, but when you have some pain in your body, headache or arm pain, anything, or knee pain, and when you go to that good feeling stage, how you send this good feeling, that love to that pain, like this in you, and you are in that stage? I just can't do it. I don't know.
Okay, so that's a very good question. And at first it does seem impossible. So, and look, pain can be very, very distracting. Pain can be a big distractor. And so there are a couple of a couple of things to remember that will help with it. And one of the things is intellectually understanding that pain is, we don't actually have any pain receptors in our bodies. There's no pain receptors. The pain receptors are only in the brain. What we have are sensory channels. So when you touch something like this, a signal is sent from here to the brain that explains, that says this is being touched, and the brain decides what it means. So the brain decides if this hurts or if it doesn't hurt. And that's why some people feel pain and others don't with certain things. Some people will feel more pain, less pain. It's all subjective depending on how your brain is wired. So and now I used to have fibromyalgia. So there was a lot of unexplained pain that comes with that. So, and I know that that's how I know how difficult it can be you can't just ignore it because it's very real. It's right there. But if you, you know, when you eat, do you like hot food, spicy food?
Sometimes, yes.
Sometimes,
like
right. So, and you've had that experience of eating something spicy and enjoying it?
Oh, yes.
Okay, very good. Now, for some people, they can't eat spicy food because it hurts too much. But for those of us who like it, it's the same sensation, but a different interpretation. So I'll eat something hot and I'll go, oh, that's delicious. And someone else will eat something hot and go, right? It's interpretation in the brain. So now when you're talking about a headache, for example, if you start really paying attention that, okay, when the head hurts, so my head is hurting, immediately without me even thinking consciously, my interpretation is it's bad, it hurts. And maybe why does it hurt? And I'm so sick of this pain. And, you know, there's all that comes with it. Now, if you were to stop for a moment and focus just on the sensation. So I'm feeling, what am I feeling? How would I describe this pain? If it's pain, and you start bringing it down to just noticing the sensation. Now, it's still there. It doesn't mean that it's going to go away, but it calms your system down. And here's the other thing, tablets that you take, painkillers that you take, the action of the molecules of painkillers in the brain that block certain channels to stop the pain signal in the brain, we produce those chemicals ourselves as well. And it's been proven scientifically that when you are feeling emotionally better, when you're feeling happy, when you're in love, when you're feeling grateful, peaceful, all of those good kindness and compassion, all of those good chemicals, good states, emotional states, we produce more of the natural painkillers that block those same channels. So that's why the key is to bring those stress chemicals down, do what you can to feel love, peace, do these exercises, because you are chemically changing the pain signals. Now, it doesn't, so the trick there is not to go, okay, so I do the exercise and then I check and I've still got the headache, it didn't work. Just keep doing it, because feeling stressed and buying into the pain doesn't make it go away either. So you might as well feel good. And you will find over time that it brings the level down. It changes the interpretation a little bit. Does that help?
Yes, I understand how the pain works.
Okay. Yeah. And so what question do you have, or what clarification do you need?
So when you have that pain, and so you have to actually be all the time in good state. Well,
and so here's the thing, you know, it's human to not be in a good, you know, to fall off the bicycle sometimes. It's human to be triggered sometimes. Sometimes you just go, you know what, I don't care, I'm just fed up, you know, and that kind of thing. And that's okay, that's just human. It's just when you can, bring yourself back. So sometimes we get, you know, you'll get triggered and you'll react, and that's okay. And then just when you can, bring yourself back. So the key is to be kind to yourself always. So you've got the pain, be compassionate, go, you know, I've got this pain, and then do your best to feel good. And if you can't feel good, do something that will distract you if you can, you know, watch watch some comedy, listen to music you love, do an activity you love, and then do this exercise when you can. And as far as sending because I remember your original question was, how do you send the love to it? Is when you fill yourself with that light, that love, just imagine it going to wherever the pain is. Let's say it's a headache. So first of all, I imagine my heart opening and the love, and then I imagine the light going to that part of my head that's hurting, and I love that. As I send the love to it, exactly as I send the love to my target.
Okay.
Odile,
I realized that I didn't fully answer your question until then. Sorry.
Another little technique that you can use, one that we've shared in other places, is to imagine taking one step back. Because oftentimes when we get into pain, with the language that we use, we stay in the pain and we actually become the pain. We say words like, I am experiencing this. I feel pain. I am the pain. We say words like that. We're telling our subconscious, we're giving our subconscious messaging that it's, I am in the middle of this. And by taking a step back, being a third person observer and saying, okay, I'm able to recognize the part of me that is experiencing the pain right now. So I don't know if I'm explaining that really well, but taking one step back and sending love to that part of me that is experiencing the pain right now. So instead of becoming the pain, I can still be in that place of, okay, and I've done this while experiencing, a bad headache. Okay, I'm just sending love to that part of me that is experiencing that sensation right now. I'm sending love to that part of me that is feeling that sensation. So it's just another way to keep. And what I know from experience is that I can always keep taking one step back, because your mind keeps wanting to play the game of, no, this hurts a lot. And it's like, okay, I can just take one step back and send love to that. So it keeps you in a place of having some power and control, even when it feels like this pain isn't going to go away.
Very good. Thank you, Steve. Another
Thank
good
you.
point. And Caro says, I had bad heart arrhythmia, premature ventricular contractions, and it went away thanks to ESC. That's wonderful, Caro. Thank you for sharing that. A wonderful example. Because, and it makes sense, because remember that when any emotion you're feeling is a physiological state in your body. You are affecting your brain and your body physically and physiologically. So it makes perfect sense. Yay, very good. And someone else says, thank you, Stephen Odile. Giving us your time and knowledge is beyond wonderful. Oh, that's lovely to hear. Thank you so much for saying that. And you're very, very welcome. Okay, so let's do some aiming at specific issues. So we're going to start with Carrie. Where's Carrie? Oh, yes, there you are. I couldn't see you. There you are. All right. So everybody, so what we're going to do, we're going to get into the state using the exercise, and then we're all going to aim at Carrie. Okay? So take a deep breath, close your eyes, and think of your favorite color, the beautiful shade of your favorite color, and imagine being surrounded by that beautiful color. Feel the feeling of that color. Very good. And now think of your subject and imagine holding that person, animal, place, or activity in your arms in a hug. And focus on the feeling, the physical feeling in your chest as you think of all the reasons you love this person, animal, place, or activity. And feel that feeling of your chest opening, expanding, your heart expanding. And imagine it as a ball of light or energy. And imagine it spreading down to your toes, up to the top of your head, and out to your fingertips. So you're now full of that light, that energy, that love and appreciation. And now imagine it filling each cell of your body, so that light or energy, that love filling every cell, every one of those 50 trillion cells that make up your body. Love each cell just for existing. Very good. And now imagine the little you in front of you, any age, and imagine giving that little you a hug. Hold that child tightly and tell them how much you love them and that they're perfect exactly as they are. Good job. And now I want you to think of your subject and imagine filling your subject with love and appreciation and that light or energy, exactly as they are, just for existing. Now imagine they don't want to be with you and keep them filled with that light or energy, even as they don't want to be with you. Very good. And now I want you to send that, imagine sending that light or energy to Carrie. Feel your heart opening as you do that. Your heart opening and sending that light and love to Carrie exactly as she is. And regardless of whether she can sleep or not, love her anyway. Feel her being filled with that love and appreciation just for existing. Now I want you to think of Carrie tonight lying in bed and keep her filled with that love, that energy, that light and appreciation. Very good. And you can open your eyes. And how was that for everyone? Was everyone able to do it? Good. And if for most people find it much easier, of course, and stronger to do it for someone else than for their own issues. And that's natural, of course, that's human. All right. Very good. Carrie, how do you feel about that? Let's unmute you.
I feel really good. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, sweetheart. So hopefully that will, all of that together, in addition to the information from earlier, will help this evening. All right. And so who was next? Who was up next, Steve?
Kara, finances.
Ah, excellent. Yes. So we're going to do the same thing. So now we're not going to go through the full exercise because you've already got those chemicals in your system. So we're going to just get into it and then add it. And it was Kara, right? Not Kara. Yes, Kara. Okay. Lovely. Let's go. So take a deep breath, everybody. Close your eyes. And imagine holding your subject in your arms in a hug. Focus on all the things you love about that person, animal, place, or activity. And feel that light or energy filling your whole body and every cell in your body. Very good. And now I want you to think of Kara and send that light or energy to her. Love her exactly as she is. Imagine her being filled from her toes all the way to the top of her head with that beautiful light or energy. Love her exactly as she is, just for existing. And now I want you to think of Kara's finances and love exactly what is. So whether they change or they don't change, love Kara and her finances exactly as she is and exactly as they are, without needing anything to change. See that light filling Kara and her bank account, her pocketbook, whatever's there, with love. Very good. All right, and you can open your eyes. And how was that? Was everyone able to do that? Good job. Very good. Kara, how do you feel?
Energized.
Energized. Very, very good. Excellent. And this is the wonderful thing about this exercise is, as I say, it's easier to do it, to aim at someone else's issues, and when you consider that we are all connected, it does make a difference. It does boost that person energetically as well. Excellent. And who is next?
There's a couple of more anonymous requests regarding relationships and
Okay.
Other financial issues.
Okay. All right. So what we're going to do now then, for all those, for those who are anonymous, we're going to get back into that state again straight away now while we've got it going. And then we're going to aim at anyone in the group, anyone and everyone in the group who is experiencing relationship challenges. And then we're going to aim at everyone and anyone in the group who is experiencing financial challenges. All right. So all that is setting the intention of loving everything and everyone in the group regarding relationships and then regarding finances. And then we'll do it to everyone in general. Does that sound good for everybody? All right. And any questions so far regarding this process? Everybody able to do it all right? Thank you, everyone. Much loved. You're very, very welcome. And so much appreciation for your deal, for all that you give to me personally. Many, many thanks. You are so very welcome. It is really a pleasure. All right now. So let's take a deep breath, close your eyes, and let's go back into that state of love. So you're imagining holding your subject in your arms in a hug. Feel that love and connection and appreciation between you and your subject, and all the reasons you love this subject. Good job. And now feel your heart opening. Feel that opening sensation in your chest of your heart opening with light coming out of it, light and energy coming out of it. Pure love, power, bright light. And now I want you to think of everyone in this group who may be experiencing any relationship issues, and with your intention, send this light, this love to them. Imagine them being filled with this beautiful light, this energy, this love and appreciation just for existing, whether they have relationship issues or not, whether their relationship issues change or not. Just love them anyway, just for existing as a part of you. Good job. And now I want you to do the same. Think of everyone and anyone in this group who is experiencing financial challenges, and fill them with that love, that light, that energy. Love them just for existing, whether their financial situation changes or not. Love them anyway. Love it all anyway. Very, very good. And now allow that love, that energy, that light to spread out and fill everyone in this group. Fill everyone. So allow it to overflow from you and fill everyone else with that light, that energy, that love and appreciation just for existing. Very, very good. And you can open your eyes. And how's everyone doing? Was that good? Excellent. Very, very good. So we have something in the chat. Thank you for including me. Odile taught me once that money is energy, just like love, and it is okay to allow it to flow to and from you. This helped me to accept money. So it's good to accept cash for the children's book. Thank you so much for sharing that. And that's a good reminder. Yes. So, so there you go. That'll help you with your book, charging for your book, and everybody else. Yeah. So it comes and goes. It's, you know, where we struggle is when we try to hold on to something or we think there's too little of it. Yes. So treat it like energy coming and going. Thank you so much for sharing that, love. That's a great reminder, and I appreciate that.
I just wanted to jump in with my personal experience of doing this exercise with relationship issues, because I know in the past that I've been, or when I was originally getting started with this, feeling a little skeptical.
Yes.
So I just decided, you know what? I'm just going to use it as an experiment. I'm going to try this. And I was in a situation. I had a kind of an estranged relationship with somebody close to me, and I felt like, well, there's nothing really I can do except this. All I can do in this situation, I have no control on anything about this relationship issue. I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to continue to think about this person, send them love every day, and not have any expectation that anything is going to change. And what was fascinating was within a couple weeks period of time, I ended up getting a call from this person, and it really felt like there was an uncharacteristic reaching out in trying to make the situation better. So yeah, I can't explain that, or you know, it's like, is that magical? Is it serendipity? It doesn't matter. You know, it's just, I'm just saying that once you start practicing this and then doing it without the expectation and then just observing what's happening, it's amazing to start seeing the results starting to happen.
That's right. Yes, thank you for sharing that, Steve. I had forgotten about that experience. Yes, and you know, that's one of the ways you can get yourself to do this is by treating it like an experiment. So it's not something you have to do, and it's, you know, if you don't think it, or if you doubt it'll work, do the experiment and find out, see what happens. And that's a way to get past the resistance sometimes, is to treat it like an experiment. So someone says, thank you for sharing, Steve. Yes. So, it really is, you know, and I still am amazed. I've been using this for so long and it's changed so much in my life. And yet I still go, oh, did you see that? Did you notice that? It's very exciting. So any questions now regarding, well, anything at all, and in particular, sending it to each other and that kind of thing? Carrie?
I have a question.
Yes.
Are we going to practice the word, repeating a word in our head to restore the feeling?
Thank you. I had actually forgotten about that. So thank you. Yes, let's do that. We have a little bit of time. So thanks for reminding me, Carrie. Very good idea.
You're welcome.
Thanks, love. So, so yes, I'd forgotten that I'd said we were going to do this. So pick a word or phrase. And the purpose of this is so that you don't have to go through the whole exercise anymore. All you have to do is repeat the word or phrase, and your brain and body will automatically put you into this state. Now, so this is master level of the superpower, and we're going to do that now. So pick a word or phrase, and it can literally be anything. So I'll get you, it could be love, it could be thank you, it could be I love you, it could be sausages. It really doesn't matter. So the one I use the Ho'oponopono phrase. For those who know that one, thank you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And then I shortened it to just thank you, I love you. But you can literally use anything. You can use your color, purple or pink or whatever. So pick a word or phrase. And what we're going to do is we're going to physiologically link that word or phrase to that state of love in your brain. All right. So everyone got a word or phrase? All right, let's do it. So take a deep breath, close your eyes, and think of your subject. Imagine holding that person, animal, place, or activity in your arms in a hug. Think of all the reasons you love this subject. And notice that you and your subject are surrounded by that beautiful color. Feel the feeling of that. Very good. And now notice the physical feeling in your chest. Feel your heart opening and that bright light or energy shining out of it. And now imagine that light or energy spreading down to your toes, up to the top of your head, and out to your fingertips. So you're now full of that light, that energy, that love. And now start repeating your word or phrase in your mind while you're feeling this feeling. So maintain this feeling and repeat your word or phrase in your mind. Very good. And you can open your eyes. Good job. We're going to do it again. So we're going to do this 3 times and then we're going to test it. All right. So deep breath again. Go back into that love state. You're holding your subject in your arms. Feel that love and connection between you. Feel your heart opening, that bright light or energy all the way down to your toes, to the top of your head and out to your fingertips. Feel every cell of your body filling with that love, that light, that energy. Love each cell just for existing. And now start repeating your word or phrase in your head as you maintain this beautiful love energy, this light. Good job. All right, you can open your eyes and we'll do it one more time. So a deep breath back into that state. Feel that love, that light, that energy filling your whole body and each cell, all the cells of your body. That beautiful light or energy. Love each cell just for existing. Very, very good. Good job. And start repeating your word or phrase in your mind as you feel your heart opening and expanding in that light and energy. Very good. All right, you can open your eyes. All right, and so now what we're going to do is we just have a look around, just ground yourself a little bit. There we go. And now we're going to start repeating the word or phrase first and feel that state happen, okay? So a deep breath, and you can either close your eyes or you can leave them open, it doesn't matter. But start repeating that word or phrase in your mind and feel that change in your physiological state. Feel that light or energy in your heart opening as you repeat that word or phrase. All right, and you can open your eyes. And who found that worked for them? Everybody find that worked? And who found it? So if you found it didn't work for you, or you, you know, there was an issue with it, or you have a question, pop it in the chat or unmute yourself and just check. I mean, just let us know so we can help you with that. But who was surprised that that worked? I'm getting.
Oh dear.
Yes.
I was unable to do it this time because I was being distracted by my daughter.
Okay. All right. So yes,
There's something that she needs like right now.
Okay. Hello, Carrie's daughter.
Me. Her name is Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. All right. So that's okay. So if you, when you watch this,
I want to talk to her.
you can just follow along. When you're on your own, you can follow along with it.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Usually it works.
It usually works. Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
And the other thing is you might want to do it like going to, you know, when you go to bed as well, of course, do the same thing.
Yes.
Great. Good job. Thank you. And
Thank you.
Thanks, sweetheart. And then we have in the chat, very powerful. That's good. Could you put in the description or somewhere the time of the ESC practice so we can use it to practice? Oh, yes, Steve could do that. I was wondering if you could put it in the description or somewhere the time. Oh, yes. So, Steve, perhaps if you would put the timestamp in the description of where we started the exercise. Thank you. That's a good idea. Oh, you've already answered to say you. Okay. Thanks.
Well,
Steve.
and just a reminder that we have the video or the audio clips of each day's practice little sections. You can find that on our website,
Yes.
right in the resources page for this, and you can download those. But I will add timestamps in the description
as well. Fantastic. Thank you. Yes. So when you go to the resources page, underneath each day's recording is an MP3 audio file of just the exercise from that day. So you can listen on the website or you can download it to your device and listen to it wherever you are. All right. So any questions before we finish? So today's assignment, 24-hour assignment, is to, of course, practice now your word or phrase. So practice bringing that, putting your brain and body into that empowered state using your word or phrase as much as you can. If you find you can't, that's okay. Use the exercise to get into the state and then repeat your word or phrase again. So what we just did now by doing it 3 times in a row was we made a temporary connection in your brain between the word or phrase and that chemical state, that physiological state. But now it's not fully established yet because the way it becomes established is by repetition. The more you connect that neural network, the stronger that connection becomes. So it's very important now. It's like learning a new phone number. It's important to repeat it until it's established. All right. Very good. So somebody says, oh, thank you. That's awesome. The MP3, great. Okay. Oh, the MP3 I have doesn't include the color, and I really like that. Yes. So the one on the resources page under day one, well, under each day, that does include the color. So the color is a new thing that I've added since the MP3 you had. All right. So any other questions or comments before Kara?
So I'm guessing that as we practice this, we could get to the point where if we wanted to send it to someone, we could just say the Q word.
Correct.
And it
exactly.
would, yeah.
Yes. And in fact, when you get to, you know, again, over time and the amount of time it takes depends on the individual and what's going on in their lives. But you will get to the point where you don't even need the words, where you'll just go into that state. You'll live from that state most of the time. And then when you want to aim at a target, you'll be able to just feel that opening in your heart and do it. And then it will only be sometimes when you're particularly triggered that you'll need the word or phrase to get back, to get it going. So yes, it becomes completely automatic and natural. All right. Very good. And any other questions? Do you have a donation page to help support you to continue doing these on Zoom? Oh, that's a lovely idea. Thank you very much for that suggestion. We'll put one up. We don't want anyone to feel obliged or to, you know, or anything like that. We want to make sure that everyone knows that this is completely free and for whoever needs it. But we also know that that it can be a nice exchange of energy for those who would like to contribute. So we will put up. We'll find out how to do that. and make that happen. Thank you for offering that, suggesting it. And beautiful, thank you. You're very welcome. And any other questions? And you're very welcome, sweetheart. I can't tell you how much I look forward to these every morning now. I love each one of you, and I love seeing you here. So all right, so we'll end there for today now. And of course, please do share this with those you know it would help. So let people know about, you know, they can go to the resources page on our website and just watch the recordings, or they can go there and find the link to join in live. So there are all those options, because especially at this time, there's so many people struggling, and they don't need to. Because this is there for everybody. And if you know anyone who is on the front lines of this coronavirus situation, please send, you know, give them this option, because it can help them to deal with what they're dealing with. So I know I've seen interviews with nurses and doctors getting home, and they're on their own because they're not able to be with their family after their shift. And they can be watching these videos and helping to change their emotional state. Thank you so much for everybody. I love you all, and we'll see you same place, same time tomorrow. Bye-bye.